Today is March 30th, 1867. It's 5 a.m. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is National Radio reporting from the State Department in Washington, D.C. Some unusual activity has been occurring inside the State Department for over 5 hours. There have been lights on in the State Department building since about midnight. William Henry Seward and his clerks were seen entering the building around 11:45 p.m. A little after midnight, Edward de Stockel, the Russian minister of the United States, was seen entering a side entrance with several of his secretaries. There's something going on in there. We are told that Secretary Seward will be coming out very soon. We hope to have an announcement for you. Here he comes now, ladies and gentlemen, Secretary of State of the United States of America, the Honorable William Henry Seward.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very important day in the history of the United States of America. And I am glad to be able to share this news with you. You are the first to know that we have just signed a contract for the purchase of Alaska from Russia.
William Henry Seward retired from public life in 1868. He made a trip to Alaska the next year. He visited Klukwan, a native village 20 miles north of present-day Haines, Alaska, with Professor Davidson to see the eclipse of the sun on August 7, 1869. On August 12th, he visited Sitka, Alaska, giving a memorable speech before the Sitka Town Council. He then sailed to California and then on to Mexico, where he met their leader, Mexico's national hero, Benito Juarez. He then undertook a 14-month trip around the world, visiting Asia, Europe, the Mideast, and England. He met the Emperor of China, the Sultan of Egypt, and Queen Victoria of England. Today is August 24th, 1939. Judge James Wickersham is celebrating his 82nd birthday. He is with us today to tell of the early days of Alaska. He was appointed the first judge of the interior of Alaska by President William McKinley in 1900. His mission was to install civil government in a corrupt, lawless, and violent region. After 8 years as judge, he became the first elected, non-voting delegate for Alaska to the United States Congress, serving 14 years. He is remembered as the man who changed Alaskan history and destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Judge James Wickersham.
I am very happy to be with you today. This is August 24th, 1939. I am celebrating my 82nd birthday, and I have seen a lot of things happen in Alaska, and I would like to share with you about the early days and some of the accomplishments.
After suffering a stroke at home 4 days earlier, James Wickersham passed away at St. Anne's Hospital on October 24, 1939. Several days later, his body was ceremoniously escorted by the entire membership of the Juneau chapter of the Elks Lodge to the ship docked at the waterfront and transported to Tacoma, Washington, where he was buried beside his first wife in the family plot in the old Tacoma Cemetery. In addition to being endlessly fascinated by politics, James Wickersham was a statesman, author, historian, scholar, and mentor to aspiring lawyers, making his advice and his extensive law library in his big White House on the Hill freely available to many. This is United States Radio reporting from the U.S. Senate building. The U.S. Senate has been voting on their bill to approve Alaska to be the 49th state of the Union. There has been debate for 6 days, and voting day has arrived. In a few minutes, we are going to hear from E.L. Bob Bartlett, who is the Alaska non-voting delegate to the United States Congress. He will give us a report on the results of that vote. Here he comes now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable E.L. Bob Bartlett.
This is a great day in history. This is the greatest day in the history of Alaska. The United States Senate has acted wisely and in the national interest, and we in Alaska will justify what has been done this day. The U.S. Senate has just completed voting on the Alaska bill. It passed 64-20.
In an issue decided by a coin toss between him and Ernest Greening, Bob Bartlett became the first senior U.S. Senator for Alaska in 1960. The older man's wrong call made the former Governor Greening the junior U.S. Senator. Senator Bartlett was re-elected in 1962 and 1968 and was a popular U.S. Senator with a distinguished career.
Stars of gold on a field of blue, hills and streams, the brilliant stars in the northern sky, the Bear, the Dipper, and shining high, the great North Star with its steady light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright, Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, the simple flag of the last frontier.